If you've got a Bentley Continental GT or you're a new owner to it, you might be having problems with your battery. Watch to the end of this video and I'll show you how to test your battery using a multimeter. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Firstly, because I don't like to start on an apology, I'd like to start on a thank you. I'd like to thank all of the members of the channel and the subscribers that have stayed loyal to me throughout all of the time that I've been away. I promise you it hasn't been easy. We've had divorces, deaths, homelessness and a bunch of other things thrown into the mix, but I'm really glad to tell you that now, after 6 or 7 months off the mic, I've managed to get a studio built up and the right equipment to start making some videos that might be of some use to you. But that's basically it. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I do appreciate it. It's been a tough time and I'm back. So in this first video back to the channel, I'm going to revisit one of the videos that I've made before. I'm going to completely reshoot it. I'm going to go into a bit more detail, and this is what you can expect moving forward. I actually want to make them useful so that if you find yourself in a situation that I'm about to describe, you can at least take the right steps to find out how you can fix it yourself or lead your engineer, your mechanic, in the right direction. Okay, today we're going to be looking at the symptoms of and the cure for battery problems. This comes up again and again and again, particularly from new owners who are perhaps not familiar with the need to have the cars on trickle charger all the time, and with an expectation, quite reasonably probably, that the car should start if it's been left for a couple of weeks. We all know the truth about that one, but if you don't, then keep watching. And one that I recommend you go out and try right now if you haven't before, and it's simply this: get the mechanical key for your car, insert it into the driver's door and operate it. Just make sure your car can be opened using the key. You don't want to find this out later when you've got a flat battery and your remote doesn't work. So you get to your car and you've got a flat battery. Oh dear, not looking good. But fortunately Bentley thought about this, which is why they actually fitted 2 batteries to your car. Now, to operate this emergency parallel system, all you do is insert the key in the ignition, turn it to the left, then turn it to the right as normal. This creates a parallel circuit using both of your batteries, so you get the amperage from both at the same maintained voltage. Really handy. And people may think that this is a little bit complicated, but trust me, this is a genius idea, and primarily because your starter motor battery isn't used for anything else. So provided the battery is in good order and charged, you can always start the rest of the systems on the car by using this trick. Really neat, huh? So how can you test to see if your battery is any good using a standard multimeter? Okay, for an accurate reading, ensure the car's been switched off for at least an hour to remove any surface charge from recent running or charging. The right hand side, the lead acid starter battery. You should be looking at between 12.6 volts to 12.7 volts fully charged and healthy. If it's about 12.4, it's around 75% charged and it's starting to get weak. 12.2 volts or lower and effectively discharging or failing. It might still click the relays, but it will struggle to turn over that W12 if the temperature drops. Now on the left hand side, the AGM house battery, if you like, you should be looking at 12.8 to 12.9 volt fully charged. AGM batteries naturally rest at a slightly higher voltage than a standard lead acid cell. If it's at 12.5, it's about 75% charged. If it's 12.3 volts or lower, it's discharged. If it rests this low even after a long drive or overnight on the smart charger, then the plates are likely to have sulfated from the car's constant background electrical drain. Another test is with the engine running. Once you've fired her up, check the voltage across the terminals again to make sure that the car's charging system's doing its job. A healthy reading is between 13.8 volts to 14.5 volts on both sides. Just a note, the Bentley's power management module controls how and when these batteries charge. If you see it spiking over 14.8 on the AGM side for extended periods, or if it stays below 13.5 while running, the charging control module, alternator regulator, might be struggling and could do with a check. The ultimate test for your battery is cranking voltage. If you hook up your multimeter to the right hand side battery, have someone crank the engine, the voltage will drop momentarily. A healthy starter battery should not drop below 9.6 volts during the crank. If it dips into the 7 volt or 8 volt range, the battery's dropped cell or lacks the cold cranking amps, CCAs, to reliably manage the starter motor. Okay, so that's the battery testing done. What you'll notice from that is initially the cold cranking amps for the lead acid battery jumped all over the place. It was actually quite difficult to get any sort of reading from that, but the signs are good because it did turn the engine over well and it's never been charged other than by the car. Less good news is the condition of the auxiliary battery, which is sitting at 9.9 volts. So that's clearly on its way out. It's over 5 years old and it's ready for replacement anyway. Having said that, when we tested the engine running, you could see that the charging system was kicking out 13.9 volts into the auxiliary battery, and I think it was 12.9 or 13 volts into the starter motor battery. So that means that the field regulator on the alternator and the alternator itself is working properly. So that's good news. Next job is going to be to replace that auxiliary battery, and that's going to be the subject of the next video. I'm going to get one ordered up and I'll film the process in as much detail as I can to help you as a DIYer actually work your way through it yourselves. This is just a really quick rundown on how to use the multimeter meter. As you can see, you've got your range selector here, volts, direct current, alternating current, this is amps, and these are ohms for resistance. When you're testing the battery, you need to be in this range here in direct current, i.e. with the battery, and I've got it in the 200 range. You could take it to 1000 I suppose, but this is easier to recognise on the display. So a quick summary then of today's video. You've learnt that it's important to check that your mechanical key is working in the driver's door lock in case you do get a flat battery. You've learned that you can turn your ignition key to the left to create a parallel circuit that will get you out of trouble and get the engine started. You've learned how to use a multimeter to check the voltage in a battery. You've checked the cold cranking amps on a battery with the vehicle starting, and you've checked the charging system. So it's been a pretty good one, and as it's the real world, obviously not everything's gone well and my main system battery needs replaced, but that's an opportunity to actually film that and create something useful for you. If this has been useful to you, please drop me a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because it really does help the algorithm for the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. If you don't need this video right now, you may well need it in future, so it's a good idea to click subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing and it does help me a lot. So until next time when we'll be replacing the battery, happy motoring.